My name is Sai Namani, and I am a biochemistry and molecular biology major.
And I'm Ali Poire, an art studio major.
As Michelle Raheja explains, visual sovereignty is a way of reimagining native-centered articulations of self-representation and autonomy that engage the powerful ideologies of mass media. Under visual sovereignty, filmmakers can deploy individual and community assertions of what sovereignty and self-representation mean, and through new media technologies, frame more imaginative renderings of Native American intellectual and cultural paradigms. We will be using the 25 decolonizing projects to show how the movies Rhymes for Young Ghouls and Skins further visual sovereignty and a colonized perspective.
Skins, by Chris Eyre, is a film centered around the relationship of two brothers who experience the negative effects of alcoholism brought to their reservation. One brother, Mogi, struggles with alcohol abuse, and Rudy, a cop, struggles to help the people in his reservation overcome alcohol-related issues. Their relationship as brothers has deteriorated with the help of alcoholism, causing Rudy to resent his brother. In the process of Rudy pursuing his recent idea of a vigilante, Mogi suffers severe burns. In the end, the idea of losing one another brings the brothers closer. Rhymes for Young Ghouls by Jeff Barnaby is a film explaining the life of a young Mi'kmaq woman, Ayla, living on a reservation in Canada that is suffering through the residential school system. We see her struggle with the loss of family as a result of the abusive use of drugs and alcohol. Additionally, Ayla constantly is burdened with responsibility of keeping her family together and safe from Popper, a man who runs the residential school.
Smith defines reframing as taking control over the way Indigenous issues and social problems are discussed and handled. Both Skins and Rhymes for Young Ghouls reframed the drunken Indian stereotype by giving it a backstory. Mogi had struggled with alcoholism for most of his life. As the film progresses, we learn that Mogi faces many internal struggles and trauma. In one scene, Mogi, Rudy, and Mogi's son Irby are talking about the history of Pine Ridge Reservation. They address how the white colonists banned their religious ceremonies, and when Sitting Bull protested, they shot him. After their conversation about the brutality of colonists, Mogi seems visibly upset, even snapping at Irby. The scene illustrates Mogi's struggle with historical trauma. The fate of his ancestors and the effects of colonialism on his reservation clearly affect Mogi, causing him to turn to alcohol to ease his pain. In Rhymes for Young Ghouls, Ayla's community struggles with alcoholism and drug abuse. She even says that this art of forgetfulness is what brings her people together. However, the reason they turn to alcohol and drug use is because of the lack of freedom they have on the reservation. They are forced to follow rules imposed by Popper, who represents the effects of colonialism in the community. Popper controls whether Native people are allowed to use natural resources, forces them to pay taxes, forces children to attend residential school against their will, and physically abuses and attempts to rape Ayla. Thus, the two films use visual sovereignty to show that the drunken Indian stereotype is due to the horrific violations of human rights brought on by colonialism.
Skins incorporates different Lakota legends and motifs. The film begins with Rudy's visions of Iktomi, the trickster spider from Lakota mythology. The spider influences Rudy to commit crimes such as attacking two teenagers who killed a boy from the reservation and burning the liquor store. In addition, the film addresses the Lakota belief that everything has a spirit. It draws attention to the rock spirits, which become an important motif throughout the movie. Similarly, Rhymes for Young Ghouls includes legends of the Mi'kmaq people. Ayla's grandmother tells her the story of a starving wolf that eats children hanging from a tree, and later compensates by eating itself out of remorse. Through storytelling, Native people are able to teach younger generations about their culture and connect themselves with nature and their ancestors. Thus, the film displays visual sovereignty by including cultural stories and mythology with tribal specificity.
Both Skins and Rhymes for Young Ghouls include elements of visual sovereignty, but they also further colonized perspectives in some ways. Both films remove guilt from the colonizers. In Skins, there aren't many white people present on the reservation. The few encounters Rudy has with white people are the doctors in the hospital Mogi stays in. This furthers the colonized perspective that white people are saving the natives with Western knowledge, and could possibly be seen as a representation of Indigenous people's inability to attain such knowledge. In Rhymes for Young Ghouls, Ayla's friend Sholo and her uncle Burner betray her by telling Popper about her whereabouts and revenge plan. Their betrayal makes it seem as if the tensions within her own community are what puts Ayla in a bad position and detracts from the true source of her troubles, Popper and his colonialist mindset.
Overall, Skins and Rhymes for Young Ghouls are both good examples of visual sovereignty. They break down stereotypes associated with Native people and address important topics such as historical trauma and the effects of colonialism on Native communities. Thanks for watching!